Page number 14. Ready? Comments. Sir, I have pleasure in welcoming you to this meeting of the board. The year under review has been marked by intense and varied activity in all fields of education. You are aware of many of the interesting developments that have taken place. To recount all of them would take too much time, but I would like to bring to your notice some of the more important developments which have taken place and promise to yield increasing returns in the coming years. I shall take up first the question of basic education. For a very long time, it has been accepted that the prevailing system of elementary education must be replaced by basic education. Progress has not, however, been made in conformity with our expectations. There has not been an appreciable increase of basic schools in the course of the last 4 years. The main reasons for this have been lack of right type of teachers, inadequacy of training facilities, and the large initial cost of establishing a basic school. About 2 years ago, the center decided to take a direct part in the expansion of basic education. Accordingly, we offered assistance to the states for the establishment of one intensive basic education center in each state. A further step has now been taken by the decision to offer to all the states 30% of the expenses for the conversion of the existing elementary schools into basic schools. So far as the establishment of new schools is concerned, it is hoped that the cooperation of the center and the states will enable us to ensure that they are increasingly of the basic pattern. As you know, the progress made in this field in different parts of the country has not been uniform. The government of India have therefore decided to appoint a small committee which will visit areas where basic education has struck root and make an on-the-spot study of the developments. We propose to utilize the report of this committee for the planning of a program of expansion of elementary education on basic lines in order to fulfill as early as possible the constitutional obligation on the state to provide free and compulsory education to all children of 6 to 14 years. You will also find in the agenda a proposal for the constitution of a standing committee for basic education which can meet frequently and advise the government of India on various technical and other issues connected with basic education. Steps are being taken to expand the program of social education in the country. You will remember that I spoke to you last year of the central scheme for the expansion of education by the employment of new teachers in elementary schools and social workers in select centers in urban areas. This was also intended to relieve the pressure of educated unemployed. The greatest emphasis during the current year has, however, been laid on the reorganization and improvement of secondary education. I think you will all agree that this has till now been the weakest link in the Indian educational chain. It is yet, in a sense, decisive in determining the quality of education both at the elementary and the collegiate levels. Secondary schools supply teachers for elementary schools and students for colleges and other institutions of higher learning. An unsatisfactory system of secondary education undermines the entire system of education in the country. You will remember that at the last meeting of the board, I placed before you my ideas on secondary education. This is the stage up to which all should have the opportunity to go. In any case, it is the stage which marks and will continue to mark the end of education for the vast majority. It should therefore prepare them for life, but I must regretfully admit that our secondary education does not at present fulfill this objective. The government have, on your advice, generally accepted the recommendations of the Secondary Education Commission and initiated measures to give effect to them as early as possible. Discussions are being continually held with the state governments, the universities, and boards of secondary education in order to carry out the various necessary measures to reform. I will briefly refer to only some of the more important steps already taken in this behalf. Steps have been taken to set up a textbook research bureau. You will agree that an improvement in the quality of textbooks is essential if secondary education is to improve. In view of the proposed diversification of courses, it is highly important to ensure that pupils select their courses according to their aptitude and ability. Immediate steps are therefore necessary to organize education and vocational services. I would also suggest for your consideration that each state should set up a board with the object of surveying opportunities for employment in its area and make the necessary information available to all the headmasters of secondary schools. You will agree that the key to all educational improvement lies in a better type of teachers. Stop.